Hello, everybody. Here we are again with my co host and one of my best friends, Nikita. But
Hello.
today I think I'm going to mix up names because our guest's name is Naveed and he wasn't here last week, but I called
Mm.
his name anyway. How are you, Naveed, today?
Thank you, Rod. I'm fine. I'm well. Thank you.
Great, great. Nikita, before we go on with the questions for our guest, how
hmm
was your busy week?
Actually, it wasn't busy. It's fine,
Okay,
you know.
okay.
It's fine.
Uh-huh,
How
uh-huh.
was yours?
My week was, I have been having uneventful days.
Okay.
So the days are
Okay.
very, my life is crazy, as you know, but it is uneventful for me because that's the thing that I do every day,
Mm-hmm.
and there's
Mm-hmm.
no changes. But the climate change is crazy. Although we have winter now, one day is
Okay.
hotter, one day is colder. So there's no allergy guy like me who can bear it. So
Yeah, I see. I see.
well, let me start by introducing people. I think Haura's here with us. Haura's is a member from Hello Talk, and she's
Okay.
a very good student. And today we have a very dear friend of ours, um, Naveed. I'm sorry if I changed the names during the episode,
It's alright.
but I met Naveed on Hello Talk, and we became really good friends. Now he's my moderator during the live streams because the numbers on the live streams on Hello Talk are going crazy, 200, 300 people depending on the day. So I'm really glad and I'm really happy. And Naveed, introduce yourself because after that, Nikita and I have a general question for you.
Yep.
Int- Introduce yourself to us,
Yes,
please.
sure, sir. But before, yeah, sure, sir. Thank you. Before to say something, I would like to thank Mr. Rod, and I would like to thank Mr. Nikita, who brought me for this special conversation.
That's our pleasure, right, Nikita?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. So, for those
Go ahead.
who don't know me very well, my name is Naveed. I'm 27 years old, and I'm from Pakistan. By profession, I am a teacher at government school, and I teach English subject from 6th grade to 8th grade, and sometimes
Mhm.
to 9th and 10th grade. This is my little bit introduction to the people who don't really know me.
That's awesome. Thank
Nice.
you.
Very nice.
Nikita, could we go with the general question now? You can do
Yep.
the honors.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So, Navid, I'd like to ask you what you think friendship is. Could you please talk about it a little bit?
Uh, as per my standpoint, friendship is very important
Mm-hmm.
for everyone
Mm-hmm.
because without friendship, no one can stay in this world. Because
Yes.
life is a name of friendship, and for me, it is very important, and it is everything for me because
Mm-hmm.
it helped me a lot in many situations and many difficult situations. And let me clear that a friend is someone who keep you happy and
Mm.
do everything for you in difficult
Yes.
situation. So,
Right.
but remember that, and we should keep in mind that we should keep those friends who are loyal to us, and as well as we are also loyal to him. So loyalty is the basic thing for friendship. So
Mm-hmm.
without friendship, no one can remain in this world. So it is very important.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
I
Absolutely.
agree. So,
Yeah.
Nikita, you can go with the first question.
Okay. Okay. So, uh, let me ask you something, Navid. I think people will be interested in this. How did you start your English learning journey?
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. It's very important question, and as well as it is very interesting question. And I think everyone passes from this type of situation, and everyone has some journey
Mm-hmm.
when they start English language. So
Mm-hmm.
my answer is very simple. I started my English journey because of my teaching.
Mm. Right.
Yes. So I
Right.
started English language journey uh, because of my teaching.
Mm-hmm.
Along with this, there are other factors as well, but the main
Okay.
motto was my teaching. Yeah.
Mm.
But
Okay.
let me clear one thing. When I got
Sure.
appointment in government school
Mm-hmm.
after special exam, and when I went to school for the first time, I was astonished, and I saw that there is no subject for me to teach my
Uh-huh.
students. You
Mm.
know why? Why? Because my major was not English language. My major was forestry. I
Ah.
did forestry
Uh-huh.
from university as a regular student.
Uh-huh.
So I started thinking that I should start English language
Mm.
from a well-established university and
Uh-huh.
got master degree.
Oh,
So I
okay.
started my journey from university and got admission in applied linguistics
Uh-huh.
uh, and a well-established university. In the beginning, I work hard on my reading, writing, and listening skills. Uh, when I overcome on these three areas, then I started my speaking. And I
Mm.
work on my speaking skills. And especially when you teach English language, it is necessary for you to some extent you can speak the target language. I'm an English teacher. I teach English at school, so it is necessary for me to speak the language well. And at least I can teach my student an English language. So then
Mm-hmm.
I started speaking in order to improve my speaking skills. That is why I'm here right now with you guys.
I see. I
Yes,
see. I
and
see.
this,
Very
If
nice.
you
yeah,
if you allow me for a second, there's a certain unsung hero among us. Mr.
Okay.
Ahmed is here watching us. I say unsung hero because the idea of this podcast, we thought about him as well. And we have another podcast which is he is one of the hosts, and we are getting back soon with this one as well. But it's so nice to have you here around us. And
Hello.
he's also a teacher, and I think that Nikita and Ahmed are very devoted people and devoted teachers. And I think that's why they can do a great job being non native teachers. I think this is amazing because I don't like this term anymore. I don't tolerate this term anymore, non native, because non means no. So I am not native. I am speaking the language. So I think we should not tolerate and not accept this term anymore. There's been a lot of different things. English is communication. There's a dear friend of mine here, Sita. Sita's here. And we were exchanging some lines this morning on WhatsApp.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that English is communication because English
yeah,
doesn't belong to me. English doesn't belong to Naveed. English doesn't belong to you. English belongs
Mm-hmm.
to everybody.
Yeah.
So,
Yes,
like,
it's a
it belongs to something that either you speak it or you're going to learn it because you're going to need it anyway. So English is a
Exactly.
lingua
yes, a
franca. That's what people
lingua
need
franca.
to understand. Yeah, people need to
So
understand that
yeah,
English is a lingua franca. So there's no
yes,
native speaker. There's Indian English, Russian English, Pakistani English, Brazilian English, let's say so.
Okay.
I name the nationalities because this is the way we speak. We have our accents and we have
Yeah.
to be proud of them. And I think there's been a war around um, on YouTube. Some native teachers are criticizing other other successful non-native speakers, as they call. But the big
Mm-hmm.
question is, before you criticize anyone, do you speak a second language, or do you at least try? You know,
Yeah.
do
Good
you
point.
know how difficult that is? So
Mm-hmm.
that's really getting me a little bit annoyed because
Mm-hmm.
people I always tell this on YouTube, people don't need to see flags, people need to see qualifications.
Mm. Yes, definitely.
I think I
yeah.
told you over the phone once, Nikita. I don't know if you're gonna agree with me, but that's what I feel. uh let's
I
say
do agree
uh,
with
my
you.
cousin speaks Portuguese,
Okay.
but if somebody asks him to teach Portuguese, he can't, but he's a
Sure.
native.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of native friends. I like them a lot. You know that. I have a lot of native friends. But I think that you have to see a teacher qualification. And please don't go around criticizing people who are doing a very good work or a very good job because it hurts.
Yes.
If you don't learn a second language, go learn a second language, then you can put yourself into the learner's shoes. A
Yes.
teacher
Yeah.
has to go up with the student. He has to go down to the level of the student and goes up together with him or them. Okay, that's what I
Yeah.
feel. I needed to talk about it because it's been, people are criticizing a very big YouTuber on YouTube. She has more than 7 million followers just because she's a non-native teacher, but she has good content. And I can tell
Yeah.
you, I make mistakes in Portuguese every day and I don't care.
Yeah.
So when I see Naveed, a Pakistani, speaking English the way he does, I am so proud. I'm sorry, I needed to say this. I needed to say this.
It's
Go ahead.
awesome, man. It's awesome.
Go ahead.
Thank
I
you.
don't know if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
guys I don't know if you guys agree with me, but I'm sorry. I needed to say
No,
that.
no. Personally, I agree with you, sir. Nowadays, no one can claim that English is my language
Mm-hmm.
because the Britons and the Americans acknowledge that English is a language for all.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So it's as you mentioned that English is a lingua franca. So yeah, it's a language for everyone.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Okay.
think I think have I think just to finish, I think everyone has a place in the sun. Natives and non-natives. But this word non-natives for me is already an exclusion. I don't
Mm.
like it. You can say I am native or near native, but
Yes.
non-native is already exclusion to my viewpoint. You know, that's what I feel. I'm sorry.
You know what, sir? Why English got so much popularity nowadays? Because of its its broad heart. So
Mm-hmm.
the language itself welcome to all people, and it's not a narrow mind language.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So that is why the English language got so much popularity among the nation.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you
I
think it makes it special? I mean, as a language, it's not like everybody goes around and speaks Portuguese, for example, or Russian. You know,
Yeah,
you go to a certain country and probably they will know English. I think there's some value, right?
Mhm. Are you asking Demir to Naveed?
No, I'm just well, just
we
say
just talking.
General, it's a general
generally.
question.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
yes,
exactly.
I think since the early days that I know, as I know myself as a person,
Okay.
many years ago, English was already the main uh, language to be spoken in
Hmm.
business, in articles, like in medical studies, so I think
Absolutely.
people just need to be patient to listen to each other, nothing else.
yeah,
you know
yes, yes,
like okay, the person might want to improve their English. That's fine, that's
yes,
completely fine.
yes,
But once you stop to listen to them, they are understood and can understand everything that you say. I think patience and also empathy is the key.
Mm,
you know
right.
I think we should not judge anyone. Like, if I have a student and he says she don't know anything, and I know that is, she doesn't know anything, I just repeat the same sentence, correcting, but I don't say you are wrong. Oh, and I say, oh, she doesn't know anything, and I do the correction, and the student can get it. I think
Yeah.
that's what the most important thing. But we can see a lot of native people in movies and in many other things using these constructions of sentences and syntaxes, and nobody says anything. So
Yeah. Yeah. I see.
but I agree with you. English is there because they decided it would be the language, the main language to release everything. I love English. I study English for over 40 years. You too know that.
Yeah.
And it's not it we have a lot of steps and stones to get to a certain level. So I think everybody should be respected when they are speaking English, no matter if they're basic, intermediate, or advanced. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's it. That was a very good talk about this. What is next?
Okay. Okay.
Nikita, Nikita, let me say something. I wasn't
Sure.
finish my point, my answer. So, if you allow me, I would
Sure.
like to
Sure.
finish my point.
Sure. Go
So,
ahead.
yes, yes. So, teaching was the main motto for me to start English
Mm-hmm.
language journey, and let me clear that English. The second reason that I started English language journey as the prominent nature of the English language in our region. Uh, you must keep in mind that the British came here and they subjugated the whole region. I mean, the South Asian countries for a long
Mm-hmm.
period of time, and they implemented their own language in education institute and I mean, in every institution, they implemented their own language, and the language was English. And still,
Mm-hmm.
the prominent nature of the language remained there in our region.
Oh.
So it's a natural phenomena. If a language has prestigious nature over other languages, then everyone wants to learn that language.
Yeah.
That dominant language. So in our country, English language remained prestigious since independence, and that is why the English language is our official language nowadays. So it is necessary for everyone to learn the English language. At least the person who get a government job or private job,
Mhm.
they must at least write an application or a letter if he or she cannot speak language. he must able to write at least an application or letter in English language. So then they will be considered able for the job, whether it is government job or whether it is private job. So
Mhm.
these two main reasons that I started English language journey. That's all.
Mm,
Yes,
interesting.
I agree.
Interesting.
What's next, Naveed? No, see, I changed. What is next? Nikita. I
Uh,
am the old one. The next time, I think I will dye my hair white. Next time, I'll be a really old
Wha
person. What is next, Nikita?
okay,
It
that's
doesn't
one.
matter, sir. You you like Nikita and me.
Yeah, of course. And
Uh,
don't
that
tell
is why.
anyone. I lied that I like Dev, but Dev is not here today, so it's a white lie. Don't tell anyone.
Will not.
No,
Will not.
no,
Okay, okay.
we don't.
The next question. Next question.
Okay.
Uh, Maybe I'd like you to tell people what motivates you to learn English.
Uh, what what makes me motivated to
Oh,
learn English
yeah,
language?
yeah, yeah.
Uh, um, Obviously, Nikita, as I mentioned, as I said to you earlier, that I
Mm-hmm.
started my English journey because of my teaching.
Okay,
So
okay. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So my teaching as a teacher, uh, uh, I motivated to learn the
Mm-hmm.
English language. Uh, when I go to school, when I teach my student, most of the time my students
Mm-hmm.
ask question from me. Whenever they ask question from me, I become motivated, and I come to home. I study a lot, and uh, prepare myself for the competition
Mm-hmm.
to my students. So these things keep me motivated towards
Mm-hmm.
learning English language.
I
Yes,
see.
and
I see.
the main reason is my students.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
My
You
students
want to help
keep me
them, right?
motivated. Yes, yes, yes. My students is the main reason to keep motivated me towards English language.
I see.
Yes.
I see. Okay. Very nice. Yeah.
That's a very good point. I agree, but there's something else that I think the three of us have. We have to be passionate about the language as well.
Mm.
And we have such a passion about speaking English. I remember on the first episode, Nikita saying, I'm used to speaking English all the time. And when I
Okay.
speak Russian and the people are too straightforward with me, I feel weird. Like, no, instead of I'm sorry, I'm not sure, or no, I can't.
Yep.
So this only shows that we are passionate about the language. And I think
Mm.
the three of
Yes.
us share the same passion about it. I think that's what
Yes.
matters. Because if you invite me to go to the gym, I will never have time. If you invite me to talk about English, i- in
You
the
will
early
have
hours
them.
of the day, I'll be there. It doesn't matter when,
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
Let,
Yeah.
let, let
so
me let me say something, sir.
mhm,
I am very passionate, and I'm very devoted, and I'm very keen to learn the English language. That is why I choose to teach English language, because I was motivated to learn the English
Mm.
language, and that is why I got admission in university. On
yes,
the other hand, there are a lot of subjects, including biology, chemistry, physics, history. I ignore I ignore those subjects, and I prepare to choose the English language. So
mhm,
I'm very keen to learn the English language.
Mm.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
yeah, yeah, that's nice.
Okay.
What is
Okay.
next, Nikita? You're the
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Sure.
question person.
Okay. I think I think it will be really great if Navid, you will be able to share some some challenges with people that you faced on your journey.
Yeah,
So
yes,
could you?
Nikita.
Yeah, could you please share
I could.
some challenges? Yeah, that you faced.
Yeah, yeah. Related to the language that I passed when I started
Exactly.
English language.
Yeah.
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 Yes, I think everyone face some difficulties when they started the second language or target language, and
Mm-hmm.
especially when they start English language. So
Okay.
yes, I faced many difficulties, and especially I faced difficulties whenever I tried to interact uh, with native speaker or with some proficient people. So it
Okay.
was the biggest challenge that I faced because I overcome on speaking sorry on listening, and I overcome on reading, and I overcome on writing, but
Okay.
I was facing a lot of challenges in terms of speaking.
Mm.
That is why, because there were no proficient person that I talked to him, and there were no native speakers that I talked to him. So the
Uh,
biggest challenge that I faced in my this journey was speaking.
I see.
Yes,
Because you couldn't
and
find
finally, let me say, yes, yes, and
go
let
ahead.
me say
Go
that
ahead.
finally I found a person who is from Brazil, whose name is
Okay.
Mr. Rod, and
Mm.
he helped me a lot in
I
speaking,
see.
and he encouraged me in every stage. In
Mm-hmm.
every stage, he encouraged me, he helped me
Mhm.
in everything, whether it is related to the speaking, whether it is related to the listening, writing, and most importantly, he taught me and he taught us that there is no need of citizenship. We just friend, and
Yeah.
we keep our friendship positively.
Mhm.
So the main reason that I motivated towards
Mhm.
friendship, towards learning English language,
Mhm.
is because of Mr. Rod. Yes.
Thank you so much. Allow me, Nikita. Thank you so much, Naveed, for your kind words. But I think that's the role of a real teacher. You have to motivate your students and you have to see
Yeah.
their potential. Everybody here who's watching us see the mega Haura, our people from Hello Talk, Ahmed, who's our personal friend as well. I think that's what I should do because
Mm.
people need encouragement and people need you can do it. Be-
Yes.
And I think one of the most important things, I think no native teachers also work as a mirror because the student can see in us, for example, if my teacher could do it, I also can do it. So I think that's a good way to see. And I really appreciate your words. I, I, I chose to be a teacher. That's what I have to do. I don't like belittling anyone. I think everybody deserves respect. And let me tell you, before we finish, because we're heading to the end of today's episode, I wasn't so fortunate as you guys were because I learned English in the Stone Age. So I didn't have internet. I only had books, and I
Yeah.
needed to find a way to speak with people. Like in my time, there was pen pal, not PayPal. Pen pal, you would exchange letters with someone from other countries, and it would take us 30 days to receive an answer from that person. And now I can go to Pakistan in 2 seconds, or go to Russia when He's near to the phone in maybe 1 minute. I don't know,
Yeah.
but but that's what happens now. So a lot has changed. So I think you guys are lucky. Sita is also here, and Sita studied English in the 90s, and she can clearly vouch for me when I say that. You know, um, but I think what I do is what a teacher should do, and I would like to finish my speech by saying I learn more from my students than they learn from me. I can assure you, and I never forget your words. Uh, it's really amazing. Thank you. You know that you have a friend in me, and whatever you need me for, I'll be here for both of you and for everybody who's watching us once English teaching is concerned. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Nikita, what
Yep.
are your final words for today?
Well, I would just like to say that, yeah, obviously, when you learn something, it's important to just remember that, there is always, you're going to get some results only if you work on something. So if you just quit and don't do anything, well, there will be no results, unfortunately. So, everybody watching, just keep going. I know you can do it. Rod knows you can do it. Naveed knows you can do it. I just, yeah, just
There's
go.
a very good question from Mega here that I think the three of us could answer. How can
Okay.
you help so many people? She asks me.
Mm,
I don't know, Mega. I think that I have to be courageous enough, or I have gone through so many hard things in life that is such a good thing because I love to see people learning. So when I get into my Hello Talk room, Naveed knows he is here, also my moderator from Brazil, dear D, and he knows that now 200 people, 180 people, 300 people, depending on the day, are watching me. I don't know why, but I try to be. What I put in my mind when I decided to be a teacher was I want to be different from all of the teachers that I had. I
mm,
want to be the best version of me as a teacher. So that's why I try to be. That's why I try to be so kind, and I try to help so many people and encourage so many people because sometimes I'm not only talking about English. Sometimes you might be sad, but let's suppose that Nikita said, and I come to him and say, "Hello, how are you?" And I open a smile. Maybe that smile and that "Hello, how are you?" changes his day or makes his day.
mm.
That's what I talk about, not only about English. It's an essence of a human being. Like I'm always checking on my friends. Nikita knows that.
You
Naveed
do.
knows that. I'm always
Yeah.
checking on them. How are you? Let's have a conversation. When, even though I have a small time or little time, I try to do this. So we have to keep friendships alive, you know, and do
Mm,
your best as a teacher. And in the beginning of my career, I made a lot of mistakes, but I learn from my mistakes. So now I
it's,
avoid making them, of course, after 27 years. But we learn from our mistakes. So please, when you see these kinds of poisonal content or poison content on YouTube or social media, run away from that. We have to
yeah.
be respectful. It's very nice to be behind of a keyboard and criticize someone or write bad comments, but it's really hard to do what we are doing, facing a camera live on YouTube with people watching that. And I
Yes.
respect a lot of other teachers. I think as every teacher should be respected, but not criticized because if you don't like, for me, you put it like a TV. If you don't like, change the channel. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
that well, I would like to profusely thank Naveed to be here. It was a wonderful interview. I much more than I thought it would be. I knew that it would be nice, but it was brilliant. Thank you for being here, Nikita.
Yeah,
What can you say, man, before we go?
I think everybody should appreciate the things that Navid said and shared with us. 'Cause there is a lot of value
And
in
it
it.
was a very deep conversation. It was
Exactly.
really great.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Navid. Thank you. Seriously.
Thank you, Nikita.
And well, people, if you have any questions in chat, let us know. But next week we're gonna have a very special guest. I'm going to even prepare a mysterious thumbnail so nobody knows who they are, he or she. But I think everybody's gonna go crazy when they see this because I am
Okay.
really happy that this person said yes to us, and I am really happy. And see you guys. Thank you so much.
Yep.
You were brilliant.
Thank you.
See you next week.
Thank
Bye bye.
you.
Thank you.
Thank,
See you,
Thank you.
everybody.
thank you,
Later.
Nikita.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Thank you,
Of
sir. Thank you,
course.
Nikita.
Of course. Always.